This is a technique that I use to create spider webs inside Blender. My name is Jose Vega and I've been working as a senior concept artist in the animation, video game, and movie industry for over a decade. And this video that I'm going to show you is actually from our foundations course, where we're taking some of our black and white sketches that we did on the previous module and taking them into a final image completely colored with mood and lighting. Now, as part of this image, there's a section in the image where it's full of spider webs and bodies trapped into spider webs, and I needed to figure out a way that I could add this in Blender fairly quickly and fairly realistic as well. I'm going to show you how to use the Wireframe Modifier and how you can apply these webs around a body. If you're interested in this foundation course, we just released the module 11 where I create this image. I'll make sure to put the link in the description below. I have a lot of images that are webs like these that I know for a fact that I want to be, or that I'm going to be using for sure as photo batch whenever I get to the Photoshop section of this. So I know I can cover this section here, but I want this to, I don't want to depend on the pictures either. I want to have a little bit of a control and to add some of them at least manually, just to kind of see what I'm getting. And so I'm sort of exploring some ideas of how can I do that, right? Because one, I want to be able to do it without spending too much time. And so I want a method that is just a little bit on the faster side that I can sort of block out. And so what I'm going to do is I copied these figures, right, into a new file, just so I can explore that here a little bit better. And sort of put or copy also some of the surfaces that these things are connected to. The idea is that I want to have this webbing, you know, like I'm sort of going to draw this very crudely here, like so, right? And some of these here are going to be almost like dragging their webs, or they sort of like dragged, and some of them are maybe pulling them back sort of in a way. And so I want to make sure that that I portray that with the webs in here. And again, I think I can do it in Photoshop with the pictures that I have, but again, I want to try and see something here. And so what I'm going to do is, and you can see here that I already have a model here for this. I want to show you how to do this. I'm going to grab let's actually bring the cursor to the world origin here. I'm going to create a cylinder. And this top face, I'm going to inset it a couple of times, just like so. And then the last one, I'm going to right click poke faces, just so I get this block, these cutouts here. And I'm going to select all the ones here that are at the top and invert selection, Control I, and then just delete the rest, right? So I only have this sort of flat plane that is broken up into these sections here. And this almost looks like a spider web type of thing. And so what I want to do is go to my modifiers, and I'm going to add a wireframe modifier. And so this is going to use the edges of the model that you have and create it in this way. So it's going to eliminate the actual polygons, and the edges are going to have this sort of stroke effect in here. I'm going to make this very thin. So on thickness, I'm just going to bring it very, very low like this. You're going to have to play with that number depending on what you want, but right. And you can even also do a subdivision surface. You're going to see that this sort of created this weird look into it. So you have to bring this to the top, and that way you get more cutouts, like so. So we'll have this like this for now, and then we'll figure out if you want more or less. And so what I'm going to do now is actually, I'm going to make this just a little bit thicker, just so you can actually see it a little bit better for visualization purposes. I'm just going to copy this, right? And let's bring the origin to geometry. And we're going to be using our bounding box here. And now I'm going to start placing these. The cool thing about this is that I'm just going to sort of roughly place it here. I can now grab the vertices of these. So I don't want these over here. I'm going to use my proportional editing here to start moving things around a little bit, like so. And I'm going to be playing with this shape as needed, right? And the other thing I could do is on here on the modifiers, I can click this one on cage, just so we can actually see the final result or visualize it. And so now I can sort of start grabbing vertices and playing with the proportional editing. And now I want this to be sort of attached to the stone here, of course. So I'm going to be looking for shapes and how can I push some of the shapes using the body shape or the contour of the body of the pose, right? And I'm going to look, the other thing I'm going to be looking for is places of stretching and points of stretching and pulling. And so this character here has this knee forward, so that's going to be a sort of like a stretch point of this webbing. And I imagine it being sort of like a similar to like the clothing where you pinch a point and then everything flows from that point out. And so that's sort of like what I'm looking for in some of these poses. And I can always duplicate this, right? And I can play with the scale of it, the shape. Right, and I can always place it in a way. And this is one of those things where I'm gonna try for a little bit and see what I get, and then from there sort of evaluate whether I'm gonna keep it or not, or if I want to have more of it or less, and all that, right? It might be something that this is just part of a mix of techniques that I'm going to be using for this particular effect, right? In combination with the photo bashing and the painting on top. And so I don't want to rely on just this to get the look that I want. And so I'm gonna work that throughout the scene here. And what I can do, since this is just a copy or pasted duplicate in this new model, once I'm good with it, let's say I like these two here, I can just grab these, copy them, go to my original file, and paste them, and they're gonna be pasted, gonna be placed in the area that I had, right? And so I'm going to add this material to this just so they share the same material. And so if I zoom in here, right, I'm getting a little bit of that effect. And I can always go back in, right? So I don't like having this bulge here. And so this is something that I can just grab here and start pulling in. And I'm really looking for the shapes, for the negative and the shapes that I'm getting over here, right? Now you're gonna see that, let's take a look here. Really like this sort of like across, almost like a seatbelt type of effect in here, like that. And so you're gonna see that, when I zoom in here, like some of this stuff doesn't look great, right? Like this doesn't really necessarily look amazing, but probably what I'm gonna end up doing, just play with this a little bit. One of the things that I'm probably gonna end up doing is that I'm probably gonna do two renders, one with the webbing and one without it. And so I'm gonna be able to easily mask out and mask in the areas that I think are going to be working in Photoshop. Making 2 renders doesn't really take a lot of time. I just need to make sure that I know that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start putting all of these webs onto a collection. And once it's time to render things, I can just turn on and off the collection in itself. And that way I get both versions. And I'm really liking what's happening here. This is great, I think. Some of this stuff here. And so these are going to be able to mask in and out. So I want to make sure that I'm playing with the shape. I don't want this to be very arbitrary in terms of placement and shape. And so this is going to be a little bit of a time-consuming step. Again, nothing crazy with technique. Really, it's just duplicating and moving things around and checking them here on the render just to see how they look. And I sort of started the process a little bit. I'll show you what I have so far. I'm going to do this zoomed in here. I'm going to keep those 2 new ones that I did just because I like this sort of Sibyl effect and what's happening here. And so this one is being pulled here and all this, and the whole body is going to have that sort of webbing effect, right? And so, but a lot of these areas, like all this is very noisy and it's a little bit too crazy. And so this is one of the things where I'm just going to mask it out and then do more photo batching in the areas to make it just to sell the idea more. But there's a lot of areas here that I'm definitely going to keep, right? And so I'll show you another one here. Love this one, right? So it's not the full body, but it feels like it's being pulled. It's been pulled out, right? And again, I'll get rid of some of these stuff, but I really like what's happening here with the shape. There's another one here. This one here. So that is how I use the wireframe modifier to create this effect. Again, you're gonna layer this with a lot of other techniques as well, but it gives you a really good foundation to have something to work with. Again, if you're interested in the foundations course, make sure that you check the link below. This course covers everything from the foundational things on how to become an environment concept artist all the way through finishing pieces and concept for your portfolio to include for animation, film, or video game. So make sure that you check that out. I'll see you guys in the next one.